Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 22 as Kings Lynn. And where we left off wasn't too long ago, it was just 2 games ago, and we won the Freaking League. Amazing scenes for us, Kings Lynn, who were not, I think, where were we predicted at the season preview? We predicted 12th place, 33 to 1 odds that we would actually get the promotion. 96 points and just below us Northampton on 86 points. They in the play. I thought second place went straight through, but it's actually playoffs. Maybe second place doesn't play the first round of playoffs or something. Not sure. Anyway, we finished the season quite strongly actually, to be fair. We got a 2-0 win and a 1-0 win. After that Yeovil win obviously gave us a bit of confidence, and I'm quite impressed with the lads, to be honest, because if you look at the team we used, not a lot of regular starters. So obviously Davies, Aduro, Jones, Sego, potentially Congolo and Catton, but those two haven't been starting every game. But Usman, Greaves, Graham Neal and Kika, all second team players, like just reserve players, all played really well. Like especially Greaves, who's only 17. Yeah, 17. He might be one to keep an eye on for the future. Although his potential is really low. I didn't realise that. That's a bit disappointing. But yeah, we got a 2-0 win. 2 very okay goals. You know, it wasn't anything to write home about. It was a pretty good result for us. And then a 1-0 win against Grimsby. So we just have a look at here. We played a stronger squad. Scully up front, Sego, Hurd, Ashola, Jones, Coulson. This has kind of been our go-to team, apart from our left back and right back have usually been Aduro and Clements. But I think Gill, he plays better where Sego does, and we probably need to find a new left back for this season. Scully got a goal, and then that was all she wrote. It was a fairly dominant performance from us, 61% possession. We've been really good at our passes completed and possession holding game, so hopefully that's going to help us in the future. We're in the new season. We do have the season review now, because I wasn't recording the last 2 games. It was kind of awkward. I haven't looked at the season review, but it did pop up. So now I'm back and we can do this. So the new arrivals. Let's have a look. So signing of the season, surprisingly, was Congolo. I am surprised by that, seeing as Ashola got 15 assists in his. That's a mad number of assists. I'm going to have to check the league and see if that's the highest number of assists, because that's a very good start for him. And 10 goals, 25 overall goal contributions. I think that's a really good start. He's only 24-year-old. He's got plenty of potential. I think he's going to be a player to watch for us. Congolo also played well. He played 1 less game starting than Ashola. Got 6 goals, 6 assists. He was solid. He's really good, and he's a lot younger, so got a lot more room for improvement. Swabby, we all saw what he did on the last game I recorded. Got a red card. He's been banned for another 2 matches because of how horrific the challenge was. I was thinking about seeing if I could get him on a contract, because it's coming to an end. We're 2 months away from it being over, and I don't know if they'll renew it or not, but I don't think I'll bring him in. I just feel like that just annoyed me enough to be like, no, you're done. Peter Gill, I'm surprised doesn't have a higher overall rating. 8 goals, 6 assists. Played fantastic this season. To be fair though, he did play. I didn't quite realise how good he was until the end of the season, like the last part of it. So I think like he will be a good player for us next season. And I should have played him a bit more. He only got 24 starts and 16 off the bench. We got Usman from Man United, I didn't realise, who's been okay. Didn't get as many games as probably would have liked. Might be loaning him out next season. He plays in some good positions. I think his potential is quite high. So he's just one to watch for the future. He did come in and get a few goals when we needed them. Do a fair bit, so I can't complain really. Fenton Hurd was a player which I signed to try and fill that attacking mid position. He scored 2 goals in the FA Cup against Luton, like 2 screamers. He's definitely a player to watch for the future as well. 23-year-old, he's not got as much room for development, but look at his potential. He's already a 3-star. He's going up to 4. Actually, what is he? He's a 2-star going up to 4, an attacking mid. Not sure how much he'll progress as an attacking mid. Coulson, I kind of want to sign him as well. I'm not sure if Swindon will renew his contract. If they do, I won't go in for him, but if they don't, I'll see if I can get him on a free. He played solid for us. He wasn't anything fantastic, but he's definitely got room for improvement, and we desperately need central midfielders. That's where I'm going to look at this this transfer window. Nathan Graham was alright. Again, not spectacular. I'm not sure. He's coming up to the end of his contract. If again he becomes available for free, I might just put my trust in him and give him a signing. I'm not sure yet though. Alfie Roberts played. Actually, he got 12 starts. That's because little old what's his name, Rhys Davies got injured. I mean, they're pretty good stats. I think the problem is I didn't look at his mental and physical, and they're not as high as I'd like. He got how many clean sheets? 3 clean sheets out of 12 games. Isn't fantastic. Does he have a lot of room for improvement? Yes, he does. He actually has room to improve better than Reece. So we'll keep hold of him. Keith Rook is another young one that we've got in the under 18s at the moment, who probably will be loaned out next season, but then we'll be looking at using him a bit more in like a couple of seasons time maybe. Jan Kika wasn't that impressive. He did alright. He got us a goal when we needed it. He got us a really important goal that got us through in the FA Cup. That was the only goal he got, so he was worth signing just for that. And he plays on either wing, so part of me is like, 20-year-old, he's got quite a lot of potential as well. He's coming out of contract if they don't renew. I mean, he might be someone worth putting a little bit of faith in and signing. And then Oulon is, I mean, he got 3 starts. He didn't play great. He's a loaner. He's one to loan out. He's definitely going to be better in the future. This is the problem we're having at the moment, though. A lot of players that are good for the future. Not so many good players currently. So I think we're definitely going to have to look at bringing in some players who have got some proven experience and also aren't quite the sort of 19, 18-year-olds that we've been bringing in. We'll still bring some of those in this season because we've now got a better wage budget to play with. But we need to bring in some more kind of Ishola style players. Came in 10 goals, 15 assists in his first season. That's what we're looking for. That kind of immediate impact. So especially in League 2, it's going to be a lot harder for us. Overall, first place, you can't complain with that, can you? Mark Scully got 21 goals. Unfortunately, someone, I think Northampton striker, had an absolute blinder of a season and got 30 goals, so he's not got any like golden boot or anything, but he played pretty well. FA Cup, like higher than we could have probably. I mean, it's second year we've got to this round, got to the third round, so I can't really complain, can I? But I don't think we could have aimed to go any higher. I mean, that game against Luton, potentially we might have got a win and then moved on because we did play quite well there. But who knows what's up for the future. We've set League 2 being our main challenge next season. I doubt we'll have as good a run in the FA Cup next season. FA Trophy, we got absolutely smashed by Grimsby, which was nice to beat them on the last day of the season because of that, what they did to us. But the FA Trophy we threw. We knew we didn't want it. We'd already won it before, and we knew we wanted to try and focus on the league to get these points in so we could get the win. And I think the tactics worked. I think we definitely, after that Grimsby game, we lost one more game, and then we just had a good run of form right to the end. Didn't lose a game for, how many games was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 game run unbeaten. I mean, yes, we drew a few, which we probably should have won, actually. Guiseley were only, I think they're 1 place above relegation. We should have won that, but we threw away a few points to make it a bit interesting, you know. But overall, cannot complain. Like, the boys did fantastic. Moments to remember, biggest win was a 4-0 against Dulwich Hamlet. I mean, yeah, we played pretty well. 5-2 against Sutton was a pretty decent game as well. And then 2-2 against Eastleigh was goal of the season for Usman. Usman got our goal of the season. Let's see if we can see it. Oh, he scored both of them. Which one was it? The 7-minute one. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see if this goal was all it was cracked up to be. See, Usman saying he didn't do anything fantastic this season. 2 goals in this game, which gave us the draw. That's pretty decent. So let's have a look. Usman gets the ball across field and then just smashes it into the bottom corner. That's a great finish. I don't know if it was the best goal of the season, but for me, there was definitely some others that stood out. There was a few volleys from outside the area. I think Fenton Hurd's goals against Luton were fantastic. So I think they probably deserved a little bit more. Sponsorships up, broadcast revenues up loads. Corporate hospitality's up. Competition prize money's down for some reason. That's interesting. 80,000. Oh, maybe because of the FA Trophy? I don't know. I thought we'd have got more money there. But a lot more match day money coming in as well. So overall, Sego, Catton, Davies, Olagunju and Ishola were the top shirts. Good to see some of our new boys getting in there with their shirts. The fans obviously are loving them. Scully up front was, for the Dream Team, was an obvious one. It's a shame we're probably not going to be able to get him next season. Because I've already declared my interest and they've said back away, we are not selling him. So Scully probably, I think we got him for 2 seasons, didn't we? Let's have a look at his history. Yeah, we got him for 2 seasons. In that time, he's scored 40. 1 minute, let me add this up. 37 goals. So that's not too shabby, really, for a loanee that we've signed. 7.16, 7.30. Both seasons. Like, he's been fantastic. He's basically got us the promotion, I feel. Like, without him, we would have struggled. Gill, definitely on the left, played fantastic. One interesting omission from this best starting 11 is Sego isn't on there. Which means if he was to go, I don't think we would struggle as much. Peter Gill definitely took over from that attacking left mid position and has got a lot more potential and is playing a lot better. Swabby in the middle, I'm surprised by. We played... Hurd has dropped back. He's playing better in the midfield. So that's why Swabby goes there. I would have probably put Hurd there. But he has played well in the midfield position as well. Ishola on the right, yep, for sure. Hurd and Jones, yeah. Maybe Coulson in place of Hurd and pushing him up in place of Swabby. But overall, yeah, I would agree with that. Clements, Olagunju, Clayworth and Oduro was the... defence I was kind of going for, but you can see Clements and Oduro not having great seasons, and I think they both will probably go at the end of this season. I'm not sure if we have an offer, that is. Clements now is my captain, so I can't afford to really get rid of him and have people get really angry with me. But I'll see what happens. I think I might have to just bite the bullet and say you're off, and then see what the team reacts like. I think hopefully they're behind me enough to be fine with that and be happy with him going. But we'll have to wait and see. And Rhys Davies, obviously in goal. I think we need a better backup next season, though. Maybe selling the existing one. But yeah, accolades. Player of the season, Ishola. Yeah, I would agree with that. He played fantastic this season. I'm surprised Scully didn't get there, but I think definitely Ishola showed us more than just goals. Played really well within the team, getting assists and making those chances. Congolo was sign of the season. Goal of the season was seen. Top goal scorer of 24 is Scully. Most assists with 15 is Ishola. Average rating was Ishola. And passes completed with Coulson was 104. So I think he might be worth a watch out for signing him permanently if we can. I won January's Manager of the Month. That was it from the looks of it. And there we go. History in the making. We won the league and just kind of proved everyone wrong this season because they were expecting mid-table mediocrity, but we smashed it. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to jump to the first game of the season. We don't even have it up yet because we're still in the last season. But we will jump to that now, and all the transfers that I've done I'll catch you up on, and then we'll play the first game of the season, whoever that is against. So we'll be there in a second. One thing actually which I do want to see, where's the Luton game? Am I being blind? I'm being blind. I'm still being blind. Where are you? It was around January time, wasn't it? Luton, 2-2. This was when Hurd scored 2 goals, right? Right. So goal of the season went to Usman for that. To be fair, great finish. Bottom corner, edge of the box. Great ball over the top. But this, I think it's this one, was an absolute screamer. Boom. How is that not goal of the season? I mean, yes, he was unmarked in the box, but what a goal. And I think this one was even better, actually. I think this was an outside of the box. Smashes it into the... Both of them, for me, are better. I think Hurd deserved goal of the season, but, you know what? Usman can take it. So, yeah, going back to what I was doing, we're going to do some transfers. We've got $7,000 left in the wage budget, which is a lot nicer than what it was last season. So, and we'll probably be getting rid of a few players. Aduro is wanted by, I think, 2 teams, both in higher leagues. Yeah, League One. He's worth only 14 to 85 grand, so hopefully I'll get the higher end of that for him. I think Vakajay might go because I just don't feel like I have a need for him. And potentially, Scully's gonna go probably. And there's potentially a known person that I've put in a transfer for already, Shea Willock. He was released by Burton. He only got 1 game last season for Burton. He's released. I've offered him a contract because he's only 24. He played fantastic for us last time. We look at the history. 2 seasons on loan. He got 40 goals? 40 goals in 2 seasons for us. I think he will be the replacement for Scully if we can't get Scully. But even if we can't, I think Shea Willock's got to come and join us again and become a bit of a legend as a permanent player for us. 8.75 per week. I mean, it takes a big chunk out, but I think it's worth it for a player of that quality. So yeah, we'll come back at the end of this transfer window to see what I've actually done, what players I've brought in, but hopefully Shea will join us. I don't know if there's much interest from others. Carlisle are the only other team in the same league as us. So hopefully, now that we're up a league, he will be more interested in joining us than he would have been before. So yeah, thanks for watching. No, not what am I doing? So yeah, we'll be back in a second to see the end of this transfer window and see what we've done with this team. See you in a second. Okay, so we are at the start of the season, in our first season in League 2. And quite a lot has happened, and quite a lot is happening. So we're going to look through transfers and have a look at what's gone on since I left off at the end of the season. So you'll notice that Pete Gill has had some interest, but we'll talk about that in a second. Near the end of last season, we signed that many players. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. So we got Shea Willock. Shea Willock. I'm saying his name wrong. Shea Willock, who used to play for us. He went off to... Where is he? Oh my goodness, what a mess this is. I'm not quite sure what's happened here. So because he signed for us at the end of last season, it's added him there. So basically he played for Burton. So they signed him for 100k and only played him for 4 games, where he got 1 goal and that was it. He then played the season after 1 game and didn't do anything. So I'm hoping he's going to relive the times that we had in the National League where he was scoring 20 odd goals a season. But we brought him in because he's young, still only 24. He's got really good sort of like pace and stamina and stuff. Well, actually stamina's the only thing that's not great. Natural fitness, pace, acceleration, all looks really good, quite good strength. He's just a really good poacher. He's been scoring goals in pre-season, got 5 so far in the pre-season. So he was kind of a no-brainer. Couldn't believe we got him on a free transfer. Also only got him for 875 per week, which I think was less than he wanted before. So that's a bargain. I brought this guy, Sadou Diallo. So Diallo, I brought him because he's an older player. He's got quite a lot of experience in like League One and League Two. He's played loads of games in League One and League Two. He's, yes, coming to the end of his career, and yes, his average star rating was not as low as that when I first scouted him, but I didn't scout him probably enough. But he can play central mid, he can play central defence, and he's happy being a fringe player, like emergency backup sort of player. And I actually played him over the pre-season. We had some easy games and some hard games. He got a 7.27, 1 goal, 2 assists. He looks like he's going to be a perfect sort of player that when we have tired legs and we have a congestion out of fixtures, he's going to be a player that can play a game for us and put in a good, decent performance. So yeah, he's looking fairly okay. He's on the decline. He'll probably only be with us for a season or two, but I think he's just a good player to have as like a backup, and he's happy to be a backup. Now this one, so odd. Jack Young, look who's back. This is like the transfer window of bringing him back. So he left mid last season for 54 grand to Lincoln. They played him 9 games and then put him up for a free transfer. So I was like, okay, I'll sign him on a free. It came up on my like scouting that he'd been offered to clubs on a free. So I offered him a contract. He came back and was happy to come back. He's actually now basically the same as Matty Jones. So like and Matty Jones is predicted to be better than him. So he's not actually kind of our main man anymore, but I'm happy to have him back. I think he's going to be a complete asset like he was last season. He's already jumped in on the pre-season with an assist, playing a 7.13 rating. Overall, I think he's going to be as good as he was last season, and he's the sort of player that we definitely need. So I'm really happy that we were able to bring him in. Then we brought in a Croatian striker, 22-year-old. His name's Ante Kulina. I think it's Kulina. Got quite high potential. He's got a few things against him. Relishing big matches is quite a big four, though. Him stepping up when he needs to is quite a good thing. And actually, something that proves that is he got 2 goals in our pre-season, right? Let's have a look at our pre-season real quick. We played some big teams, Bolton, Birmingham and Portsmouth. And I think it was Bolton and Birmingham. Oh, I clicked on the thing instead of result. So Bolton game, he scored, coming off the bench. Birmingham game, let's just let it load. He scored coming off the bench. So I think he might be the sort of player that when we get a high stakes like FA Cup game or something, you just chuck him on and you trust that he's going to score a goal or two, because even though he's not as good as some of the other players, he knows when to step up. So he's going to be an interesting player to have for sure. He's just he's emergency backup at the moment. He's just a reserve player. He's got potential. He's got really good physical attributes, quite good work rate, which I quite like in players. Everything else needs to be improved, but hopefully if he plays with the lads like Willock and Catton, he will definitely start to improve. So he's a player which I think we should definitely watch out for in the future, Kalina. We then brought in James Schimmel, who's a 19-year-old goalkeeper, really good potential, like insane potential, and actually basically as good as our backup keeper Alfie Roberts. So we now have 2 keepers that we can rely on if Rhys Davies gets injured, because for the past 2 seasons he's had a 5-week gap of injury. So we need to make sure we definitely have a replacement on standby for this guy. He's still our go-to, Rhys, but having Jamie there as well, or James, even not Jamie, as well as Alfie, it definitely helps us out. I think Alfie actually might be a one to watch out for, even though his potential, and he says he'll get up to 3 stars. His overall like attributes seem pretty good. So and then also we brought in James Corrigan, who's a left back, technically a little bit better than Clements, who's our captain. So they'll be switching around. Corrigan can also play in the middle if needs be. He can actually play, not very convincingly, but he can play basically anywhere. So he's kind of a utility player, quite good at crossing, quite good at tackling and marking and that. So he's kind of a way of kind of levelling up our defence a little bit, as last year we did struggle, especially with left back. And that was all for just before the start of the new season. We didn't sell anyone in that time, so no one came in for offers, even though we had people interested in Aduro, Olagunju. That interest just petered away. We got interest for Hurley for loan. Other than that, not a lot of interest for our players again. Sago has gone very quiet with the interest, which I'm kind of happy about. He's quite a good player for us. He's got quite high potential, and I think he'll probably do quite well this season for us. But then let's have a look at what we've done this season. We brought in a player called Bobby Wilson. He can play central mid or right back. He's technically our best central mid player. He's got great, just awesome attributes. 14 teamwork, 15 work rate, great bravery, awesome physical stats as well. He's going to be insane. His potential is nearly 5-star for us. Just waiting on that 1-star to either be unshaded or not. He looks like he's going to be a decent player for us. He's only 18. He's already worth 375 grand. So looking forward to seeing what he does. We are a bit overloaded with midfielders. We're just going to have to play the rotation quite often. And then I brought in Ronnie Potts, who's an 18-year-old who's not quite as good, but he's got quite a lot of development ahead of him. So I've brought him in for our under-18s just to let him develop for a season, and then we'll probably bring him forward. He's already a 1-star, which is probably good enough to come into our main team just as a backup. But I'll keep him on the under-18s for this season, and then bring him forward next season to play in the main team as like a backup reserve sort of player. And then finally, I was looking at loans. I wasn't really sure who to bring in with our team. I'll show you. I have a bit of a problem of who I actually am going to choose as my first team, because I've got quite a lot of players which I'm liking. But I brought in Connor Stafford, who can play centre and right back. He's young, 20-year-old. He's got quite good potential. So maybe at the end of the season sign him on a permanent. It doesn't work out unless the other team don't want it, because we don't have any transfer budget. If the other team don't want to renew his contract, then we go for it. If they do, we basically just see if we can loan him again. But yeah, he looks like he'll be really good backup. We've now got very good sort of backup in defence. We've got 4 centre-backs, even 2, which can rotate with the others. So I think that he's going to be quite an influential player for us come the end of the season. As you can see, we've loaned out a bunch of people. So Jordan Maguire, who's a young attack and mid, has gone out to Chipham. Ulom, he actually had played some games for us last season. How many did he play? 2 games. He played 2 games. He played alright, but he's not quite up to the level of League 2. So I've loaned him out just for this season to see what he can do. And he's playing for Brackley. Ollie Symes, who is a centre-back, we've loaned him out as well just to get some game experience at Hungerford. We've got Matt Greaves, who again, I played a few games last season. 2 games again. That seems to be the lucky number for these guys. He's gone to Braintree. Jake Middleton, who 19-year-old centre-back, who I've been keeping my eye on because he's got quite high potential as well. He's going to Brackley as well on loan to play for them for the season. Mohammed Nwachakuku, I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I apologise. He's a player which had loads of potential and it's just dropped. So I'm hoping going out on loan will give him some more a bit more oomph, because he played 40 games last season for our under-18s, got 18 goals and 20 assists. He was absolutely insane last season. So hopefully playing for Chorley, he'll get a bit more progression and play a little bit better football, which would potentially use him next season if he does. Then we loaned out Ado, who's a left and right mid, to Oxford City, as well as Wayne Keller, who's a right attacking right mid. So definitely Oxford City are going for the right mids position. They need that strengthened apparently. Then we got Nicky Burgess, who's a attacking right mid and striker, who is going off to Billericay. And then finally Kenneth Usman, who we did actually play quite a bit last season, 14 games last season. And he got 1 goal, played alright. I just don't think he's quite up to scratch yet, but he will be. He's got another one with massive potential. So I've loaned him out to Boreham Wood, who are playing in Varama National League. So he's playing in the league below. I think that's what suits him, just to kind of progress a little bit. So that's what I've done so far. I made about 40 grand off the loans, which I think isn't too shabby. Also, a nice little thing to point out, we have passed repairing the club's financial damage. I think that's mainly because the money we're going to bring in from games now is going to be insane. So last month we made how much from... Why can I not hover over this? Okay, it won't let me hover. But basically we made loads of profit last month from our friendlies with Birmingham and Bolton and Portsmouth. Basically, like, they had 1,900, 1,700, 2,100 attendance, all of that bringing in the big money, which I guess means that we're now basically by the end of the season going to be out of the financial troubles. Hopefully, as long as we have good cup runs as well, we should be doing all right. So that's kind of what's happening with the club. A lot going on. Let's talk about Peter Gill though. So Pete Gill, he is, I keep calling him Peter, it's Pete. Pete Gill is basically going to be a superstar for this sort of level anyway. I was thinking we got 1 more season with him because he's young. He's only 20 years old. He played, let's say, fairly well for us last season. Got 8 goals, 5 assists, and a 7.202. I think he played pretty well last season. He came in clutch when we needed him most for some really important games. He's got a release clause of 275, and we have had Championship, even Premier League clubs looking at him, and we've already had an offer for 275, which is his release clause, and I couldn't say no. He got really mardy when I said no to a bid of 40 grand, and I was like, listen, I will say yes. It was really weird actually. I'm just going to show you actually. So Huddersfield made an offer, 42.5 grand. That's an immediate no. He's worth way more than that. So I spoke to him before I declined it and said, listen, I'm happy for you to go if they meet the valuation of 275,000. He said, I'm happy with that. So I declined this, and then straight after he said, I'm unhappy that you rejected the acceptable bid from Huddersfield. And I was like, hang about. I don't know if you're not great at maths or something, but that is quite a far way off 275 grand. So I said to him, I had a chat with him, and said, listen, I will sell you when someone comes in with an offer of 275 grand. And he was like, yeah, I'm happy with that. I just don't know what was going on with him. It just seems like completely opposes the manager now. So he's like completely against me. He has high level respect, but is completely opposed to me. So basically, he's out. He's not going to be the player for us anymore. He's going to have problems with us and stuff, isn't he? Which is annoying, but what can we do? So the QPR came in with an offer of 230 grand, and I went back and said, if you do 275, then we're going to have to make a deal. And they said yes to 275. So, and then once I accepted it, they actually said, do you want to loan him back for none of his wages to come back into the team? And I was like, yeah, you know what? superb. We get to keep him for this season, which is like going to be a hard season, so we might as well go for it. So even though he's kicking off a bit now, he should be sold on, give us a massive boost in money. 275 grand for a club that's in as much debt as we are isn't too shabby, I don't think. I think that puts us, I mean, we're still quite a lot in the red, but that puts us in a good position. Like we were a mil. So in 1 month we've taken 200 grand off that. So to be fair, we probably we'll be out of debt by January, I reckon. Especially if we have a good cup run in any of the cups. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening there. I'm hoping everyone else will just. It looks like everyone else is calm, and it's just Pete Gill, sorry, I keep doing it. But I have the problem that I'm not sure what our starting 11 is. So Bobby Wilson got injured, so he's not playing. So Jack Young and Matty Jones play in the middle. But I think Bobby Wilson should take over from one of these two. But Matty Jones has got higher potential, so then I take Jack Young off. But he's a player who should be playing. He's kind of like the heart and soul of the team, even though he did leave. It was kind of a situation where he's stuck. Then when we go with up front, we've got Catton, who kind of underperformed last season. If we look at him, he got 12... underperformed. He got 12 goals, 2 assists in 32 games. He played okay, but then we've got a Shola on the bench, who last season got 8 goals, 13 assists. He was absolutely key to us getting through because of all those assists. So I'm really not sure what we're doing up front. Shea Willock is going to be our go-to for to begin with, unless he starts not banging in the goals that straight away. Fred Congolo is technically a star player for us, really important player. He's got so much potential as well. He's another player where I feel Pete Gill is going to be a similar situation for Fred Congolo. People are going to be sniffing around him as soon as he starts improving. But he's not quite as good as Sego, but he's good still. So do I play him on the right? I've got too many players which I feel deserve time, which is why I've been loaning out some of these kind of players which aren't quite there, like Usman and Ullum. I'm probably going to loan out Hurley as well. But I still need that backup so we can rotate as heavily as we did last season. So it's just a little bit of a struggle to know what my first team is. So yeah, that's kind of what's going down. This video is going to be so long, but we'll do our first game in League 2 to finish this off. We're up against Accrington. I don't know if this is an easy game or a hard game. I feel like it's probably quite a hard game. They've probably been in League 2, League 1 for a while. Where's their history? Competitions. Where were they last time? Oh, I don't know how you check all this. I will just... Do you know what I'll check? I'll check where they're expected to come. Let's look at the season preview. Accrington are... Where are you, Accrington? That's Aldershot. I can't see that. There they are, 11th. So yeah, they're definitely a team to watch out for. So I think we're going to have a bit of a tricky game here for our first game. Most games are going to be tricky for us, I think. We are newly promoted. We're going to bravely fight against relegation. You will notice that I changed the tactics to a 4-4-2. I feel like it's a bit more defensive. It enables us to be a bit more stronger at the back, play a bit more defensively. So yeah, let's jump into the first game and see what happens. So the team that we've gone for is Davies in goal, Corrigan on the left, Stafford and Olagunju in the middle, and Oduro on the right. Gill on the left, Young and Jones in the middle, and Sego on the right, and then Willock and Catton up front. So we obviously have like Hurd, Congolo and Ashola, who are big players which we'll probably bring in if we need an impact. Wilson is going to be one of them players who we can bring in if we need an impact. We've got quite a lot on the bench. I feel like Kalina might be worth bringing onto the bench as well, but we'll keep him off for this game and see what happens, because we have quite a big game coming up after, which I'll talk about once we finish this game. So here we go. Let's do the first game of League 2. Alrighty then, let's do this. So we've got nothing to lose. Okay, I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot this season to the boys. But hopefully, we're going to prove a lot of people wrong, just like we did last season. We won the league last season, so we've got something about us. Okay, so first chance is to us with Young holding the ball up in the middle. Good to see him back in a Kings Lynn shirt. Catton plays it back. Segoe is tackled, but Willock gathers it up. Young over to Segoe. He's got the ball in the box. Plays it all the way back to Jones, to Young. Young up to Segoe. Oh, but it's headed away, and now Accrington have the chance for Olagunju. Strong as ever. Aduro now has the ball on the right. I will say Aduro doesn't really have the sort of bombing forward wing back sort of ability. Oh, great ball through to Willock. Willock, that's got to be a penalty and a red card. What a terrible challenge. No card at all. Wow, okay, but good start for us. Penalty. Gill is the one who steps up and he puts it away. Would have been Young before, but Gill has kind of pushed him down the pecking order a little bit and said, I'm the penalty taker, and this is why. 1-0 in our first ever game in League 2, and I'm feeling quietly confident, but things can change very quickly. Okay, so it's a throw-in to Kings Lynn. Aduro has it. Plays up to Segoe. Through to Catton. Catton! Off the bar! Can't believe that didn't go in. Well tackled by Corrigan. Young up to Segoe. Segoe now has the ball on the side. Plays it through to Catton. Oh, the keeper saves. What a save by the keeper there. Like, it was straight at him, but still. Unlucky by Catton not to get himself on the score sheet. Okay, it's a corner. Segoe puts it in. Header by, I don't even know who, but it just went over. And it's half time. We are 1-0 up. Everyone seems to be playing fairly well, to be fair, and we're looking quite confident with the ball. The stats looking quite strong. We are again doing what we did last season, holding that possession, not making the most of our chances though, which makes me a little bit worried for this second half. I'm going to say faith, and faith in all of you, and we're going to not make any changes just yet. I think Ashola's going to be an impact sub come the 60-minute mark. And it's a corner to us as the first chance to go. Puts it in. Olagunju with the header. And we're 2-0 up. Olagunju has become deadly at corners. He has become an absolute, like, bullet header sort of defender when he's in the box. That was a great header. Rised above his man. Got himself a goal. And now we're a little bit more comfortable. We can't go to sleep. We do tend to at the end of games. So we need to hold on to this. Oh, I was about to make a change, but there's a chance. So Segoe has the ball to Aduro, to Olagunju, to Jones, to Olagunju again, to Safford, to Olagunju, to Young, to Catton. Beautiful passing. Willock gets the ball out wide, plays it in the middle to no one, and they just gather it up. Keeper now has it. Long ball forward. Stafford, well played. I want to see how good this guy is, Stafford. If he's going to be a long-term solution or if we need to keep relying on Clayworth still. Jones has the ball from that poor goal kick. Now plays it to Willock. Willock up to Segoe. He's through. He can't make it count with that poor finish. Right, we are going to make some changes now because of tired legs. We've got Olagunju who's looking tired, so Clements will come on. I think we'll switch them round because he plays... Oh, maybe, actually. That works better, doesn't it? Corrigan in the middle. Clements on the left. And then Segoe is looking tired. We've got Kolongolo, who's going to be a real breath of fresh air. He's going to be fast for us. I think Catton might come off for Ashola. And we'll make him an advance forward and see if Ashola can do anything special with the time remaining. Okay, it's a goal kick to us. Corrigan has it. Plays out to Clements. Clements plays it to Gill. Gill to Young. Young to Willock. Willock to Jones to Young. Watch out for them men closing us down. We don't want to get too sloppy with it. Young plays it to Willock. Back to Young. Again, Young is just pulling the strings in midfield. Willock gets around his man and that makes it 3-0. And does that count as another debut goal for the boy? Because although he did play for us before, this is his first game back. So that might be a debut goal for Willock. Look at that. This is why we signed him. Such a great finish. Such a great player for us. And Young, who we brought back, is pulling the strings. 7.9 in midfield. Just holding the team together. I'm loving this team so far. And right near the end, Congolo has the ball, plays it to Jones. Jones with the ball forward to Ashola, but Ashola, I don't think he's quite as pacey as the players think he is. Come on. Points to the spot. I was hoping for a clean sheet on our first game. Aduro with a very sloppy challenge. Is that going to be a red? No, just a yellow. He's not my favourite player. I will probably be playing Robinson more than Aduro on at right back, but we'll just have to see how he plays throughout the season. McKibben steps up, and do you know what? Davies guessed the right way. He just couldn't quite get there. It's only 1 goal back. I think we've got the rest of this game wrapped up. 3-1, and safe to say people were not expecting that sort of result for us newly promoted Kings Lynn. Willock played superb, Young played superb, Jones played superb, Olagunju, Sago, Catton. And actually the rest of the lads, I mean, Clements didn't play great, Ashola didn't play great. They didn't have enough time to really make much of an impact, so you can't really blame them. But overall, superb effort, great result. And if that's a sign of things to come for this season, then I think we're going to avoid relegation. I mean, we're already 3rd place in the league after 1 game. And it's going to be an interesting season, that's safe to say. We're just going to have a look at our schedule now. So what I said, our next game is quite big. We're playing Blackburn in the Carabao Cup first round. So not expected to get past that. I'm not going to record that one, I don't think, because it's too close to this video. We also are in the Papa John's Trophy, and we have literally got the worst group in the whole of the competition. Blackpool League 1, Salford League 1, and previous holders of the trophy, they won it last year, and Everton under 23s, which are a Premier League team under 23s. We're basically screwed with this, but we're just going to use our reserve team players to play the Papa Johns. We're going to give people a chance to have a game against some big teams, and it also brings in quite a lot of money for the club. So again, with the Blackburn game, it brings in a lot of money for the club, so you can't really complain. I think this will be a game where I do bring on what's his name, Kulina, to see if he can score again in these big games, because he loves a big game. But yeah, we will probably come back for, shall we say, the Everton and Plymouth game. So we'll play down to here. We'll play Salford and Blackburn and that, and all these teams. I think just to give us a good enough gap so that when we come back, we've done a fair bit, and then we'll do Everton and Plymouth. Amazing start to the league for us. A team we should have been thrashed by, really. On paper, we got a good, convincing 3-1 win. We want to continue that, but hopefully this cup run's not going to kill us, because we don't want to be too tired. Although looking at it, we've got a game a week for this, and they're not too regular, so it shouldn't become too much of an issue. I think the fixture gapping or spacing is a lot better than it is in the National League, so we should be able to hold on. Let's see what happens. So thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and come back next time to see how far we're in the league and what's going on with all of these other cups as well. And I will see you when I see you.